Welcome, my name is Teach, and today we're going to talk about Bloodraven being in House of the Dragon. Now I know what you're thinking, that's crazy. Bloodraven's not even born yet, he won't be around for another 100 years. But let's not forget, Bloodraven becomes the Three-Eyed Raven. When Bloodraven is trying to teach Bran how to use his powers, he shows him the fight outside of Tower of Joy. At the end of the fight, Bran calls out to his father, and Ned stops and turns around. Clearly he heard him. Bloodraven tells Bran he hears nothing but words on the wind. So we've seen that the Three-Eyed Raven can be heard in the past. I theorized in one of my last videos that Rhaenys was talking to Bloodraven through the Heart Tree at the Red Keep. At one point, Rhaenyra tells Rhaenys that none of this matters. Rhaenys looks to the Heart Tree, and she agrees. You're right about that. Nothing matters. Rhaenys might have been the dreamer of her era. And if Rhaenys is a dreamer and she can hear Bloodraven, then it is more than likely that Bloodraven stayed her hand. He told her not to burn the greens. I've also put out two other theories about what is Helaena possibly babbling about. And then it dawned on me. When Vaemon gets his head cut off by Daemon, you see Helaena stick her fingers deep into her ears and keep him there the rest of the scene. Helaena, having some kind of psychic powers, is also hearing Bloodraven. And all the cryptic little things she tells us are really coming from him. In the feast scene, before Helaena first says, "Beware the beast beneath the boards," Aegon is being a complete dick to his cousin Jace. He's picking on him that he doesn't know anything about sex. And then he openly propositioned Jace's betrothed. Helaena then mutters, "Beware the beast beneath the boards," and then she stands up and gives a toast about how crappy of a husband Aegon has been to her. So everybody thinks that her prophecy about the beast beneath the boards was probably talking about the dragon that popped up underneath the dragon pit. That's probably just one interpretation of the beast beneath the boards. In episode 9, we also see that Aegon has bastard children roaming around King's Landing. And in one shot, they show one, and he is clearly beneath the boards. They first come to Helaena looking for Aegon, and before they even come in and ask where he is, she makes this prophecy again, "Beware the beast beneath the boards." And then shortly after, we see this little boy hanging out beneath some boards. So that's two beasts beneath the boards for Helaena. And then finally, the third beast beneath the board is blood and cheese. It's crazy how this one thought, "Beware the beast beneath the boards," has turned into three possible outcomes. Poor Helaena. But now, why does this mean that this is Bloodraven trying to warn them? Like I was saying, Bloodraven isn't going to be born for another 50 to 100 years in the future. But eventually, he goes north of the wall and becomes the Three-Eyed Raven. So we know as the Three-Eyed Raven, eventually he needs to learn to use his powers, and he's going to start looking through time. With Helaena clearly being a psychic, she is the one they are using to show us that Bloodraven is lurking in the background. Bloodraven could even be working with Larys Strong. The Strongs are First Men. It is very possible that they have some kind of connection with the Weirwood net, which would explain why Larys knows all the things he does. He's able to look through the Weirwood net and see what is happening. Larys Strong is from Harrenhal, and what's near Harrenhal? The God's Eye. The God's Eye is where the Isle of Faces is, and that is where the First Men and the children sign their pact, ending their long war. Now, the Isle of Faces is the most magical and secretive place in Westeros, and Larys Strong grew up right next door to it. So I don't think we're going out on too far of a limb in assuming that Larys might have some kind of magical powers and can see through the weirwoods. So there's a good chance that Bloodraven and Larys Strong could be working together. Poor Helaena, she probably doesn't know that she has some kind of psychic ability, and she's just hearing voices in her head, and she doesn't know who or why. But in reality, it's Bloodraven trying to change the past. If you're curious on why he's trying to change the events of the past, make sure to subscribe to me, and we'll work it out in the new series I'm working on about Daemon is the Night King. We're going to take a deep dive into the timeline and try to figure out what's really happening within A Song of Ice and Fire. If you've made it to the end here, thank you for watching, and please go up and drop a like. If you haven't seen my video on how Daemon is the Night King, I will link that here at the end screen. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.